So, I'm an idiot. We've established this. Let's go ahead and try and continue working on this. We'll see how it goes. Hopefully, I can manage my time this time. Um, we did show though. So this is we're gonna gauge. This would probably end up on main channel, I guess, because it's not really art. But basically, this is how like the knife sheets come out. We were talking about potentially doing one on stream. I'm not done. I gotta make like a pattern here to really hold these in tight because they're a little loose, even glued. And I might shorten these because they are quite long. But the thing is, we probably wouldn't do this on stream, but like these things have to be kind of like hammered in. It's like a little punch system. But it's mostly just getting this, and then I'll use it's basically a nail file, an emery board, and I would file that down. I'd probably do that off stream. The thing is, I don't really want to do that up here. It's gonna get like parts. I don't know, man. Um, it's gonna get like little crumbs. But this is how they end up. This one has been sort of form fitted to this. This is like new leather to me. Honestly, it's a little drier than I expected. Um, and we'll not talk about the needles that happened to come with it. I was hoping were nice. They are nice. They're just fabric needles, and they don't really work with leather very well, even with pre-cut holes or whatever. Um, but anyway, that's how they come out. So like, it would just be me, I guess, pre-forming them off stream because I would have to like wet them and like let them sort of dry into place, and then like I'm just sewing. Like I don't know. That doesn't make good stream, right? I guess if we're just yapping, maybe that's how those would end up. Um, anyway, let's move that. Anything we say or do on stream is probably wrong anyway. So I wouldn't quote me like at any point. I actually just wipe this down before going live. Anyway, we have to clean up some of these lines. This is the wrong version. Is this the right version? That's the right version. I don't know. I mean, I feel like this came out okay. It's just a lot more crooked in some spots than expected. Pretty decent fit. It's a little loose right now. I need to keep forming it, but it's not gonna fall out. You can like put a cut here and put like a piece here and then put these snaps and do a holder, or you can just snap one on if you want a removable one. You can tie something here. You can put a snap here if you want, and then like tie it down if you want. Personally, I was gonna probably make this into a lanyard just because I think it's cool. Um, because this, if it's form fitted, it's probably not coming out. Um, probably, hopefully, but we'll see. We'll see how it holds up. It's pretty nice. Nice leather overall. I mean, like I said, a little dry and kind of nice thread, but I don't know what the fuck bro was smoking when they put those needles in. I bent two of them and broke one. For perspective, hold on. Let me get them. That's not good. Hold on. That's them. This is two of them, right? These are the ones I use. The little thread left over. I didn't think there was gonna be. I'll probably use it to like attach this stuff on. This is like this one's a little bent too. This is what a normal leather working needle looks like. It's a pretty big fucking difference, right? It's basically the same thickness as these two. Hold on. I'm gonna try and separate them so it's a little easier to tell. right hand here, left hand. So normal, smaller, like normal and fabric. Some point the focus is gonna maybe help. It's not helping. Maybe down here. No, you can't tell. I think it's because there's a light source coming from behind. All right, well, you know, it is what it is. I had to re-all, like, basically it's this one, or this one too, but this one's a little curved, so it's harder to do on thicker leather. Um, but I had to, like, widen the holes because they weren't quite aligned, and, you know, it is what it is. Overall, you know, like I said, it's a pretty good little system. I'll probably leave one undone so that I can keep the pattern. But let's go ahead and draw, shall we? I don't know. I just don't feel like it's just gonna be me sewing, and I feel like doing it here is gonna suck because I end up kind of doing it in my lap or just like sitting on the floor and doing it because you have to have so much extra like thread length. It also sometimes takes a while, so it's like I don't even know that I'd finish one. Like I don't even know that I'd finish sewing one, let alone finish everything on one. So it's like that's gonna kind of suck. You'll not even get to see a finished product. All right, so let's continue drawing our thick lines. I don't remember what we were at. I want to say like 5 or 6. Okay, thank God we have our palette down here. Welcome to Palette Town. Um, okay, got that. Nope. Oh, we're on this. There we go. Okay. Do 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 do. Do 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 do. Did that not? Interesting. I think it did. It just happened to align so that it didn't feel like it did. I don't know what I'm doing. Oh, this kind of feels like I've maybe already traced over it, doesn't it? And this feels like I maybe didn't already trace over this, but I thought I did. These lines are fine. Fine lines. All right. Damn it. Think I already did that, right? Yep. That's the problem with taking multiple days to do something. So for this eye, I decided, by the way, I think we just fucking send it. The thing is, it's not really that much work to fix it, but it's like, I don't think I can fix it. Like, I'm just gonna keep making the same mistake. I think it would be better if I just, like, continue on and spend no more time on something like that, so that we just learn the lesson for next time, if that makes sense. I don't know. That, for me, that kind of just makes some level of sense because it's like, I don't feel like it looks particularly bad. It's just, it doesn't feel like how I wanted it to look, but like, how I wanted it to look isn't really so much different that I feel like it's worth the trouble of potentially messing it up from like okay to potentially worse. So I might as well just stick with it and not risk completely screwing myself over. I hope that makes sense. I think I'm gonna try the like slightly reddish shading for the skin. We're gonna see how that goes, I guess. Um, whether or not that's the right decision, I guess I don't really know, but it kind of feels like it's gonna be right. What if I try this while zoomed out a little bit? Like, feels so wobbly. Let's zoom in. We're gonna roll with it for now. Because I should be getting in a habit of doing this, right? Do 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 do. Dude, it's so wobbly. What am I doing? Damn. Scooby, Scooby Dooby, Scooby Dooby, Scooby Doo. Wait, this line's already. No. Okay, this. Wait. The top of the head isn't done like at all, right? Okay, it's not. It's not. Look at the top of his head. Maybe doing a little sewing was a bad move. I feel like my fingies are fatigued. I stabbed him a couple of times because it just wasn't working. Like I just use like little finger cots, which are just in this case little leather like sheaths for your fingertips. I ended up having to use pliers because the needles were just too small and they were poking right through because of the pressure you have to put when doing leather. Um, so I just kept like I think I got this thumb twice, this finger like 3 times. I just wasn't working out. Was not working out. Interesting. Feel like maybe the slightest bit of shading here, and then some here. I don't like that, but I'm just gonna leave it because I'm fucking lazy. I think the horns I'm gonna probably leave as light gray. I feel like there's some logic to what we were saying before where something about it just doesn't feel like it should be that much of a focus. It's too far away from the rest of the image to like command the kind of attention that it would if I like just made them full black. I feel like it's gonna draw attention away, but like I don't know. I don't really want to because we're already gonna have like that lime green stuff around, and that's gonna draw attention away. And like the hope is that that frames it instead, but like this isn't, you know what I mean? This isn't gonna be the proper frame. And do this whole side, I think, actually, is like a very light cover. But we got to do maybe just the bottom part of this. I don't know how to explain my logic here, but it just feels like I think that's the way it's supposed to be. Probably means it isn't, but we're sending it, so enjoy. Do 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 do. A do 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 do. A do 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 do. Yum 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 yum. What the fuck? All right, so we got this. Let's maybe try and do something similar here. I don't know. That doesn't really have the effect I wanted. All right, zoomed out. This doesn't look too bad, but zooming in, you can really see the fucking like pressure lines of where I drew. I don't like it. Okay. So let's mess with the eyes a sec. Do we lash them up? I actually think that might be good. It's gonna sound weird. I feel like I kind of like the low approach here. I don't know how to explain it, but it looks way cleaner than like, you know what I mean? Like those ones where it's like just super fucking thick. I think that's probably actually relatively okay. What I'm gonna do is thicken this just a smidgen. And maybe kind of come up here just to try and trick the eye. Let's go back to detail layer. What I'm gonna do, I think, is do like something like this. Okay. And then we're gonna maybe do something like that. Maybe lower it. Maybe that's the play. We do gotta do eyebrows. So if we do something along the lines of this. Maybe. Think this might be too pointed down, but I can't really tell until it's done, which kinda sucks. Okay, so let's look. Actually, surprisingly not that bad. It's a little dark though. We'll see. Can I copy paste that? And that's fine, actually. We don't want it copy pasted. Okay. I don't know how to draw this, actually. I feel like I'm just doing too much here. This is like so much smaller. It doesn't make any sense. I need to copy paste this just because Or do this side smaller. Shoot. Okay. Control C, Control V. And then we're going to move it. Fantastic. What we're going to do is twist it and flip it. What? Huh? Okay. What do we think? I think it's okay. It's good enough for me, so I'm going to merge it with the layer below. It's so fucking goofy looking, man. Okay. Out of curiosity, what if I put this under base color? Okay. Works for some things, not for others. Okay. So let's go ahead and try a little bit of stuffs. So let's take this color, for example. We're just going to try a quick little thing with the nosy here. Feel like this is probably a little too red. Let's back out. Yeah, way too red. Okay. Let's try a couple of tricks then. There we go. So we've got this like peachish color. If we maybe just shift over to like a more, wait, I don't think it selected the color. Yeah, it didn't. Maybe it did. Let's maybe shift over a little bit then and just pray. Okay. Is this just, it just happens to be the same color in every fucking, hold on, what? This doesn't make sense. Okay. So if I move this more over to like red. Okay, so that shows. So why doesn't this show? What am I missing? What if I put it over in blue? What? These aren't close enough. I don't understand. I can see this one a little bit. All right. Well, we're on our own, I guess. Let's maybe... Okay, here's what I'm gonna do. Can I don't know how to clear the wheel. I wish I did. Oh, there we go. Clear history. That should make it a little cleaner looking, so I don't have to sift through all the colors. Okay, so we got that. Let's just maybe pick like a... Oh, no, that is not right, though. What if we shift over like one to the orange here? How come can I have my zoom back, please? Thank you. I don't know. None of this feels right for me. Okay. What if I use this to just like cover a better swath? If I move this down just a little bit to like make it slightly more gray. I don't really like this. There we go. What if I... do something like this? I should probably be doing this on a separate layer at this point, huh? Thinking about it. Let's do that. This is weird though, because this should technically be like a different order. I think this might be good for the shadow, but I don't know about like the rest of it. Can you even fucking tell? I don't feel like you can. It's like just turning white. Okay. Okay. So now we should be able to blend this pretty okayfully. Just realized the lighting doesn't make a whole lot of sense on the original. Like, all of this is shaded under here, and then it's like bright right here, and then it's shaded here. So like that would kind of indicate that the light's coming from like right, like hitting directly there, and then you're getting shadows that way and that way. But then all of this is like more shaded than what I did. That's shaded, and then like this whole side of the head is bright. So like this shouldn't, this shadow should be over here. And then these shadows should be shifted this way. Or this shouldn't be light. Should probably technically use a different shading technique over the eye, but I don't really know how to do that and blend it relatively well. We're just gonna try real quick, I guess. No, I don't like any of that. All right, let's undo all of that, please. Okay, here's what I'm gonna do. We'll hit this with black. I don't really honestly think this makes a whole lot of sense the way they've done this, but I don't know that I can make something up better, so we'll see. I didn't add this to the palette, and now I don't know. Was it this? This doesn't feel like it was this, was it? No. It was this? And then, no, that's not right either. I think it was this. Yeah, I think it was this. Let's go to the palette real quick before I fucking forget. I think it was this because it looks pretty damn close on the thing. But I'm probably wrong. I hope I can merge this well. I don't think I'll be able to. Okay. I think it might be too dark. I need to use a lower opacity black, maybe. Out of curiosity, what happens if I just like maybe scoot in here just a smidge with that, and then maybe like, you know, clean it up a little bit? Anything? Oh, this is tough. I feel like I don't know how I could do this better, so I might just leave it, but it's not really what I want, so it's kind of frustrating. I know they didn't do this, but I feel like this should be done if we're going to do it. Actually, that's probably fine. I don't think I need to blend that. That's probably pretty good. There we go. Okay, so these little cheek things and the nose situation, I'm thinking we do it a little differently than like 2 lines. I'm thinking we might like hit them with it, you know? Maybe. Hmm. Mm-hmm. Okay. So let's go back to the neat layer for a secco. Um, I want to maybe do a little something something with this. No, that's the wrong thing. Okay. And then, I don't know, I feel like maybe something here. Okay. Something along those lines, maybe. Um, no, that's probably all right. Okay. This feels super empty for some reason. I don't know how to put it. Okay. Maybe we just leave the nose as is and don't do any red there. It's not terrible. Okay. So let's do now a little lighten layer. Now, I have had problems with this. I feel like I don't know quite what I'm doing. So we're probably going to be um, not very... Oh, that's not white. Probably going to be not very generous with it, shall we say? Okay. So let's try and just slightly blend some of that in. Maybe just the slightest bit. Like there. Maybe like there. 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 Kind of give that like a lightning bolt on it. That's probably about all we should do. Okay. So now, we're going to add a new layer. This is going to be the glowy boy. We're going to see if we can't work on that addition thing. So we're going to do okay. Thank you. We're going to dip in. Don't actually need to do that really, but you know what I mean. I don't need to go to palette, but whatever. So we'll do that, and we'll just pick like a relatively large brush size. And we'll see how this looks. Ooh, I don't like that. Why did it do that? So if I do that here, okay. So it does that. Did I choose? I did. Is it an opacity thing? Is that it? Okay. Interesting. So I maybe need a darker green. I think the overall issue here is most of this is very bright already. And so whatever addition I give just isn't going to have the effect I want. What if I de-addition this? What is that going to do for us? So if I just do normal for a sec. So we'll just do it over this. It's a low opacity normal, so that gives us like that. So addition, changing it to addition, removes that and doesn't do anything there. Interesting. Color? Does that do anything for us? No? We're just testing at this point because I don't know what the fuck I'm doing. If we do saturation, does that do anything for us? No? Okay. I did, in my defense, think that that was going to do something. Luminosity? Okay. That has the opposite effect of what I thought would happen. Um, I guess it's like a descaling luminosity effect. If the color's less luminous, then therefore does the thing. So what if I do color dodge? What is color dodge? Thank you. Didn't help at all. And so the only thing that seems to really have potential is the whatchamacallit. The problem is it doesn't really work for what I want. Okay. Oh, wait a minute. Is it, what if I put it below the lighten layer for this? Okay, that kind of helps, I think, right? Hold on. Let me go back. It doesn't help at all. Okay. All right. Okay. All right. All right. All right. All right. We've done a lot of shit here. Let's just undo all of it. Okay. We're gonna leave this. Let's go ahead and do a quick little test. So if I change the background color to black, that's interesting. I didn't think that. I guess because the opacity is so low on some of this stuff, it just takes over. It actually looks kind of cool, but that's not what I want. So we're gonna undo that. What if I do this? So that, oh, I forgot I have a lighten layer down there. All right, so let's put that here for now. Just for now. And what if we do on our little addition layer some stuff now? Okay. If I do it twice, does that make it twice as nice? It's kind of interesting. So what if I do something like that? Hmm. I know this one's not a lightning bolt. I just thought it would be cool if I did this to it. Thinking we don't. Looking at it, I don't like it. I don't know. It's a cool idea, but it just doesn't happen to work. I don't think the color mixes that well. Okay. So now what if I just go ahead and, you know, blend that away, maybe? Give it that nice little glowing effect. Rinko Dicko. Okay. All right. Um, okay. So I see some problems with doing it this way. I have some concerns with it. So I think we're gonna not do this, but let's go ahead and I think this should work, right? This should. Oh no. Oh no. What? Why won't it let me change? There we go. So if I do that, that should bring us back. Okay. I think I needed to have planned for the black background. I don't know. I can probably make it work. I think what I would have to do is do what I've talked about before, make it like red, and then like do a white outline, and then also thicken the lart here, or maybe make a copy paste of the lart. Maybe that would help, so that it stays relatively thick. Hold on. What if we Control C, Control V this layer? What if we just test it real quick? Oh, it's on eraser still. I'm an idiot. So what if we put it here? Oh yeah, it looks a lot cleaner. Interesting. I don't know. Do we like it with or without it? I kind of like it with it, but also without it. I don't know. There's something with it. The focus is on the color. And then, unfortunately, I'm not that great at the color, so it's not like superb or anything. Without it, the focus is on like the little details that I did. And those also aren't very good, but I did spend a lot of time on them. So something about it feels a little nicer. So if I hide Palette Town, what do we think? I feel like there's more I want to do, but I just don't know what that is. Like it's weird to reach I guess the conclusion of something we've been working on for quite a while and be like, what more can I do? You know, I'm not there yet. I don't know that it would be that hard though to have a toggle. So, what I mean is light mode could be maybe purple instead of green so that there's more contrast. And then like toggling the layer could make it green. You know what I mean? So like the background layer would just have the same exact thing but in green, and then the base layer would have it in purple, or something, something along those lines, or maybe, something again that if I just toggled, it would change it. All right. I'm going to save this and I think we just call it on this one, right? Like it came out kind of nice. I kind of like it. It's pretty interesting. So thank you to ODYK for letting me steal your stuff without knowing that I'm stealing it. Mine is a bit different, but not so different that you can't tell it's inspired. Let's take a second. So first things first, I feel like we got to work on our shading. I like visually how this turned out. It's okay. Like, you know what I mean? I'm not mad at it, but it doesn't feel like it's the right solution. Like, it feels like I got close to the right solution using the wrong method. And, like, you know what I mean? Like, I fucked it up and somehow kind of got close. And so it's like, well, not too bad. The eye shapes are just kind of mid. So I feel like once again the eyes could have been better. It's a recurring theme. The hair came out all right, if not maybe a little stiff and a little wobbly. I kind of like the way my face came out here. It reminds me of what is that anime? Let me see if I can find it. Fuck. What? Can I? No, that is definitely not it. Is that it? Nope. I can't remember the name of it. Oh well. But I feel like it's not too terrible. Some of the like more subtle like shaded details, I just don't feel like I've got the hang of still. Color theory is just done. I don't know how to pick a color. I mean I picked colors that I liked basically over, accuracy to the original. There's probably some good behind that, right? I didn't necessarily want to recreate the exact original, right? I mean, I went with different teeth. I went with a slightly different mouth shape, right? I went with a rosy cheek look instead of like whatever they went with. We went with star eyes instead of swirly birds. Obviously mine's a little wider because I just don't have that consistency to actually even copy the right shape. Um, like my lines are like more jagged and less like flowy. But like overall, I feel like it's pretty decent, right? Like you can tell what it. I think here's what I'll say. I think the hair color is actually really good. I think I nailed that. Not in terms of exact match to the original, but I think I nailed like an appealing color. And I think that's what it is. Overall, maybe the eyes could be a little like cleaner looking, with like the iris and the pupil being like better shaped and like better fit for the balls. But I think overall I kind of did make a relatively appealing looking image. Is it perfect? Absolutely not. Is it great? Definitely not. But there's like a lot that I kind of like about it that I feel like is visually appealing, right? Hold on. Actually, wait. Let's do this. Did this work? Yeah. I think it maybe this actually looks a little worse like this, but like overall I feel like it's visually appealing. Something about it is kind of nice. I actually think it almost works better this way. Is that weird? I feel like it kind of makes more sense. I think it's like specifically this and that hairpiece for some reason just flow this way to me, and the rest of it can go either way. So if I switch it back, I don't know. For some reason, I read this just slightly differently and not as well this direction. But like the other direction, it reads really well for me. I don't know what it is. Well, all right. I actually already saved this. We're gonna move on to something else. I think I had found some stuff. Um, what? There we go. Let me just take a quick peek. There was a lot of dinosaur stuff. This one was interesting. Um, because there's like a lot of fine lines, but this person like it's like a sketch. But I think it might be biting off more than I can chew. This I think we might go for. It's like a full body thing, but it's like very stylized. Um, and I think it would be cool. And it's like a lot of perspective stuff. And what I think might help like for me to like learn here is like the different eye shape. And it's also got like relatively small hair, but there's like stuff to it. This might be really hard for me though. I think we might try it. Yeah, this isn't happening, even though I want it to happen. I think we might go with bros here. We're probably gonna change it up a little bit. I don't know that I'm gonna include like pointy ear and whatnot. And you know what? I might even like instead of just all gray, I might even like humanize it somehow. What if we just turn it into a fuzzy? Fuzzy Wuzzy was a bear. All right. Got a background. What are we looking at here? The hell are we cooking? So this is originally I'm gonna go with Kyotaro VTs on Twitters. We're gonna be studying it. I think it's so funny that people call it studying. Look, and when you like are in like an art class or something, we've heard from multiple sources, right? They have you draw famous things, right? The Campbell soup can, you know, that you do your version of Starry Night in like an art class or something. It's no secret that people have to learn how to do things generally from learning from other people. It just so happens that we're kind of in like a period of our history where we have kind of access to like every type of art we've ever found that we've ever made, you know? Right? People living in caves doing cave paintings back in the day couldn't go cross continent to see how other people were doing it. But if they could, they probably would have, right? It's not like a new concept to like look at something and make something similar. All right, so this is gonna be strange for me. First off, it's very stylized, so that's probably a mistake. We also have an object. I uh, I know it's like a table, right? I guess it's not necessarily a table, but it looks like a table, a desk. We have arms. I think we have a body. I don't know. It might be a worm. I'm not sure. It's wormy. But we have like a lot of different things that I don't normally do, and it's like a very again stylized and perspective based image. So this is gonna be quite rough for us. But I think that's why it would be good for me. And again, the whole gray thing is like I can cop out and just copy the gray. Or I'm hoping I can like come up with something color theory wise. Okay. I know these aren't like lore accurate hand shapes and whatnot, but neither is the original. But I am like varying it from theirs. I'm trying to make it more maybe both manageable and like intriguing for me. Hmm. Okay. I don't know why I just like needed to visualize roughly how this is gonna have to try and look. So the biggest reason I'm doing this is these. They're I know they're very stylized and wide, but I feel like I kind of only draw them like a couple of ways here, right? Where it's like maybe that or like, you know, something like that. And I feel like this is a very kind of simple way, but at the same time like it's way harder than it looks because there's like perspective to this. But like you don't feel like there is looking at it. But it's like I can't just draw a fucking oval and we've got it, you know? I like need to get matched angles here. This is a completely different way of doing hair for them. Like compared to, well, I don't know how they usually do hair. Sorry, not for them. For me, the way they did it is different for me. Um, so I'm gonna just try and manage it the way I'm used to, so it's not overwhelming. Maybe I should switch to just dudes. I feel like this is like a generally easier shape. I don't know if this is a dude actually. I just kind of assumed because I think Kyotaru is a Japanese male name, right? But you know what? It doesn't really mean anything. Might just be like their favorite JoJo Joestar character or something. JoJo JoJo Star. JoJo 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 JoJo. I actually really like the way they did hair. It's very like whimsical. It's kind of nice. I don't know that it's necessarily a way I'll do it too often. It works for like a sketch like this, but I don't know how I would like finish this, you know what I mean? I guess just add like strands of color maybe. Okay. Maybe hit him with something like that in there. All right. Then any other strands can be added. I feel like I did not match their perspective very well, but I've kind of got my own going that I actually kind of like better, which is why I stopped. I feel like this feels very pointed, whereas theirs feels like, hold on, let's just do a quick layer real quick. Theirs feels like they're doing like the whole vibe is down. This feels more like, I don't know how to put it, like internal. Like this looks like they're crying. This could be crying, laughing, or like just like crying. I don't know. It's like not directed. This feels very directed. Like there's something almost like here. What that is, I don't know, right? It doesn't have to be anything, but it feels like there's a reason, whereas that just kind of like gives off crying. I don't know how to put it. Okay. All right. Hmm. So they have something like right here. I don't know what that's supposed to be, so I'm not gonna include it right now. Um, the ear situation. They drew the far ear, which you technically wouldn't be able to see. I think I'm gonna not draw the far ear, but I am gonna draw the close ear. And it's just gonna be pretty simple, I think. Maybe bro's crying about his hairline, because this shit's tragic. Okay. Thinking maybe pull this out to here. Maybe like bring that in. Should we try and lart this? I might use like a similar palette to before. Maybe, well, maybe not. Maybe I should do black hair, because last time we did black hair, there was a lot I felt like I didn't do right. Let's go with the lart. I feel like we can start trying to do some cleaner lines here. Oh, fuck, I did it large pen already. My bad. My mistake. I was wondering why it kind of felt thick. This is gonna sound weird. I actually want this to be wobbly. Not not like unclean looking wobbly. I kind of want this to look wobbly though. It's okay. I think if I make this look kind of wobbly, it's going to give off like watery eye vibe. Whether or not it does, it remains to be seen. But that's the hope. And I also think that's why it's okay that they're like very stylized, right? We we want them to kind of like give off again like a very emotional vibe. It doesn't have to make sense, right? We're not going for necessarily grounded in reality. Probably gonna have to fix that. Yeah, I'm looking at some of this. I don't know what the fuck I was sketching here. Wait, I can do that? Oh my god. Wait, that's actually huge. That's huge. Why didn't anyone tell me about that? What the fuck? That is a fucking game changer. I'm not even kidding. I think we might just do 2 instead of 3. Not like terrible or anything. I know it just doesn't feel right. But I'm gonna move on for now. I must channel my inner inner Sonic? Is that, I don't know why I was gonna say energized Sonic. Channel my inner Sonic. So that we can draw our hedgehog spikes. What is this? What was I doing here? The fuck was I cooking up? I don't like any of this. Let's undo all of it. Okay. I don't know how to do this. Okay. Please stop. How did I select both sketch and that? What is happening? Okay, so can I clean this up, please? I mean, it's a very stylized, like, hand. It doesn't match the rest of the style, though. Do you know what I mean? Like, I like it if it were with anything else. I don't know how else to put it. Porque Fabrizio? That is like way too straight. There we go. Okay. Here's the deal. I don't like this. I don't like it. I think maybe hold on. Wait. Let's use that first off. Think I need to like do this to start. So let's move that back and up. Okay. It's interesting. I felt like it worked before. Like it didn't feel particularly bad or anything. But looking at it now, it just doesn't feel like it was working. I don't know how to explain it. It just didn't feel right. Um don't like that. That's not no. How do I redo? Edit, redo. Okay. That should be fine. Okay. All right. This kind of looks like the top of a bow, right? Am I tripping? Okay, that helped a lot, right? Maybe not so much here, but over here, the head doesn't feel as like football shaped and like flat. Feels a little more full. Let's take a look. Let's take a step back and look. All right. I'm not sold on the eyes. I know it was our idea to make them all like kind of bumpy and like they're like filled with water. We don't quite have the water thing in yet, you know, the tears in. So I don't know. It's like it's tough because I don't think it makes sense to sketch it yet because it's going to take up like a whole hell of a lot of like real estate and look quite how do I put it? Quite messy. Like there's just going to be fucking lines everywhere and I feel like it's going to make it really tough. I mean, I guess the one benefit is the only place where it would really matter is the eyes. Um like here it's not that big a deal, you know? Like it's just passing over the arms and like the body but like in a somewhat non-destructive manner. I just think it's gonna look better if I maybe I should make the background gray actually and just copy it. No, we're gonna leave it white, and I was going to do the tiers where it's white for them. I was gonna do that blue, like like a bluish gray. Um, and then we were gonna maybe try and add some white highlights to that, and then like try and do the black outline. And then I was planning on maybe like normal color for the body. I am feeling like this is too high. Maybe like here. So like I don't know. I mean this could just be a generally pretty flat color. Maybe somehow put a sleeve on it. Because otherwise bro's gonna look topless. It's funny where the pen tip thing is, it kinda looks like it's bro's belly button. um man, I'm really torn on the eyes. I like the thought process behind it, but I just don't think I have the skill to pull it off. It just looks like really fucking wobbly lines. Hmm. I'm thinking I'm gonna try and do black hair because we had trouble with black last time. I'm thinking maybe like a bluish black. That way we can kind of get away with like, you know, anime style, right? We can kind of get away with darker spots. I think we did that for a couple of the hair slash perspective tests, and I just never really got it then either. But I don't know, maybe that's a good way to do it. Or maybe I should just go full black and like only lighten it, I guess. I don't know. How will I do shadows for that, though? It's the problem. Maybe like the closest. I was gonna say gray to black, but maybe the closest brown to black because I usually get told my hair is black, but my hair is actually like a very deep brown, like reddish brown, and it's like you can really only tell in like insanely direct sunlight if you're taller than me. So most people aren't really taller than me, so they don't really know. They just don't get like that reflection from the top of my head. Um, so like maybe it makes more sense to go with like the closest brown to black I can get and do something like that because like it's an you know the anime strat works right our VTube model it has that right where it's actually like a very dark black but a blackish blue and then like the light around it is like a whitish white and then like a blue. It's very cool. I did that on purpose because we became Oreo themed, right? So it's I believe it's the exact like it's the exact shade of blue for this. So I guess that doesn't really make sense necessarily, but I do think it actually does make some sense. But anyway, I don't know. I'm thinking like maybe the darkest brown black combo I can fine. The problem is it's very hard to tell. I should probably look into maybe a monitor calibration, like maybe some sort of color thing. The thing is, I to actually get one, like to get real calibration, you actually just have to buy like a physical tool and like do it that way. Like any of the online tests are gonna still be subject to error, and even then it's subject to user error, and I'm a dumbass. But then I'm gonna have to like calibrate each of my monitors to make sure what I'm looking at on every screen is like close to color accurate. And then it's like it's not it's still gonna be different, right? This screen is usually much more vibrant than these two screens, and that's because uh this is a more vibrant screen, right? And this one's usually washed out because it's older, and it's like an older, I think, TN panel, and this is like a relatively, it's like a couple years old IPS panel, but it's like meant for gaming, so it's high refresh rate and color wasn't the focus. And also these all have these aren't glossy, right? So the glossy usually has better colors because the matte finish that's anti-reflective that you generally want for like work and whatnot adds like a yellow tinge. Um, because you usually don't want a giant fucking glare across your screen where you can't read. And then my other stuff is a TN panel, again, not exactly usually known for color accuracy, and then a VA panel, which is usually not known for color accuracy. It's usually like a combo between IPS and TN, right? Like it's the middle ground where it can do higher refresh rate, or at least at the time it could do higher refresh rate, and be relatively, you know, clean looking, like a better image with like less of that yellow. But at the end of the day, none of these are like the contenty creator, but not like not I don't even know if I'd call myself a con, but not my type, like actual professional photographer, video editor types who need exact color accuracy so that it goes to, you know what I mean? So that it goes to like the big screen and you get the exact right color that you wanted. You know, it's not like a professional artist, or I didn't set up for that. I'm not that guy. Um, right? It's not an 8K 100% color accuracy monitor. It's not color corrected by John Monitor himself. It's just it is what it is. Um, all right, but here's gonna be the plan. I might even try. Maybe we'll try colorized mask with this. I think I'm gonna get off in a minute. So, you know, if you were waiting, I'm sorry. I was just theorizing this whole time, and that was the plan. I'm still trying to decide on this. So you know what? If you made it this far into like the VOD, I don't think anyone's here stream wise, but if you made it this far into the VOD, should I send it on the wobbly eye look, or should we just try and straighten them out and like do After Effects types of deal? You know, like fix it in post, make it look watery in post. Maybe that's the play. Let me know what you think I should go for. I don't think anyone watches this long. I think we get a couple people. Thank you, by the way. Thanks for watching. We get a couple people who watch for like maybe 15 minutes and they check out because we're not that good. Anyway, thanks for watching. But yeah, it's on me. By the way, that's on me to entertain people long enough and be engaging and actually be talented enough to hold people. Anyway, feedback is more than welcome. I think I might copy pasta this hand over to there, for example. We might try colorized masks to try and maybe get like maybe the same peach. I don't know, maybe a darker color, maybe a lighter color. I don't really know, but we'll try and get bro going, and then we'll try and do the hair, and then I don't know. I might like turn this into like a short sleeve thing. We'll see. Or he'll just be naked, I guess. Like I said, I don't know what this is under bro's arm in the original, so we're probably not gonna do anything with that. Uh, maybe hair. Oh, is that hair? Wait, is this it? This might be it. I don't know what that is. Fuck it. But I'm gonna go ahead and get off for now. So thanks for being here. Thanks for hanging out. have a fantastic day, night, afternoon, whatever it is for you. I appreciate you. Hopefully, I can be more decisive going forward. I feel like I don't know. Maybe I should have just took the send it mentality. I don't really know. But thanks for being here. Thanks for chilling. Let me save this because before I forget, we're just gonna call it crying crying man for now. And thank you. Should have just looked up and read Kyotaro VT for not even knowing that I'm stealing your stuff. I'm studying. I'm totally stealing this shit, bro. Sorry. Look, everybody does it. It's not like I'm pretending that I invented crying man here. Anyway, thanks for being here. Thanks for hanging out. Hopefully, I'll catch you in the next one. But until then,